Hello, today we are trying to build KDE source, software from KDE source on the operating system OpenIndiana Hipster version 2024-04. OpenIndiana is an operating system that's a successor of OpenSolaris and contains the operating system IllumOS. Let's see how we can build KDE software. kde.org, hamburger menu, get involved, development, says that better supported operating systems for the framework that we're going to use in order to build KDE software, which is named kdesrc-build, are rolling releases of Linux. So Arch Linux, OpenSUSE Tumbleweed KDE Neon, and Fedora KDE. This is a totally different operating system, does not use the Linux kernel at all, uses the IllumOS OpenSolaris kernel. So let's see how far we can get trying to install the kdesrc-build framework and maybe using it or building KDE software otherwise. Okay, first of all, we want to install the Git version control system. Let's become super user. Sudo exists and is available installed by out of the box. The user that we create when we install the operating system has sudo powers. The package manager is called pkg, install, and then we're going to install Git. Before actually installing kdesrc-build, we're going to try to install the equivalent of build essential package in the Debian family of Linux operating systems, which is called the same in here in IllumOS derived operating systems. Build essential. .86 packages to install. Probably the toolchain, either the GCC one or the CLang one. Automake, the GNU Auto Tools, CMake. It's installing the default toolchain for the C++ programming language and for the C programming language for this operating system. Meson, Ninja build systems. Meson is an equivalent of CMake and Ninja is an alternative to GNU Make. CLang 18. We'll pause for a second. GNU debugger GDB, GCC 10. Maybe the programming language compiler toolchain is from GNU, but CLang might be needed for other things, such as building, I don't know, Mesa. Or maybe both the CLang C++ compiler and the GCC C++ compiler are installed at the same time. Two GCC versions, 10 and 13. GCC 7, wow. Three GCC GNU compiler collection versions. the internationalization library, closed binary files, so without open source, OpenJDK 8 for Java development. I wouldn't say that Java is a build essential. GNU M4 for the auto tools, Plex, Bison, the parser Swig, the binding generator, Netscape portable runtime, Perl 5, another version of OpenJDK 17, another version of OpenJDK 8, more Perl, Ruby 32, Python. So many programming language compilers, runtimes, standard libraries. Standard include files for the C programming language, system/header. GCC Go, so this is the Go programming language. G Fortran, Fortran from the GNU compiler collection, versions 10 and 7. Objective-C from the GNU compiler collection, versions 10 and 7. Internationalization tool. Okay, and now it finished installing, so it needed to install 88 OpenIndiana IllumOS packages, IPS packages, binary packages. Next up, we're going to follow the tutorial for installing kdesrc-build. We need to not be the user root, so in the first tab in this terminal we will be as user root. Ctrl-Shift-T. Let's increase the font size. Zoom in. Okay. And we're going to run the rest of the instructions one by one. In the home directory, it's going to create a ~/kd directory. In ~/.local, it's going to create a shared directory. This exists already. In there, it git clones the git repository invent.kd.org/sdk/kdesrc-build. Changes directory into the kdesrc-build directory, the directory that's created by the git clone. Okay. Next up, it's creating a directory ~/.local/bin, a directory which should always exist on all operating systems, and a directory that should always be part of the path environment variable. Okay, let's see if it is part of the path environment variable. A ton of /usr/opt, but nothing from the home directory. I'll add it just in this terminal tab. The shell that's installed by default this operating system is bash. And it's this bash or this bash. And now ~/.local/bin is at the end of the path environment variable. the home directory is named /export. The full path of the directory is /export/home/ the name of the user, which is admin. Okay. Next up, we need to run kdesrc-build initial setup. But first, we want to see if kdesrc-build is in the path, because we can see in this command line, the command line is not prepended with /, which you would expect if this executable is not in the path. So let's change to the home directory to make extra sure we're not in the directory where this executable actually exists. So which kdesrc-build finds it. Auto-completion works correctly. Let's run this line. Okay, so what this says is that it doesn't understand the operating system Solaris, or IllumOS, or OpenIndiana, or OpenSolaris, and instead it falls back to Linux, and there's no file which specifies binary packages to install on a unknown Linux operating system, because different versions of the different Linux operating systems will use different binary package managers. And maybe there are also Linux operating systems that do not have binary packages. You must compile everything from source using a ports tree, or something similar to the FreeBSD ports tree, or Gen2 emerge, or the Arch AUR. Okay, so this file actually does not exist. The option in here is to install enough software such that we can develop using Perl, because kdesrc-build is a build framework written in Perl. And then using either a Perl debugger or using printf debugging, you would add support for this operating system to kdesrc-build, which I don't really exactly know how to do. If I were to use a Linux operating system, I would install a integrated development environment that has Perl 5 support debugger, at least, such as Visual Studio Code or the Komodo integrated development environment, and then run this command line in the Perl debugger and see exactly where the problems are and fix them one by one. But in here, the list of binary packages available in OpenIndiana is really, really minimal. I do not know how to run binary only non-open source software such as Visual Studio Code or the Komodo IDE, or other integrated development environments, because they were built for either straight for Ubuntu, or for Ubuntu and Fedora and Red Hat Enterprise Linux, or at least for most Linux operating systems that use the GNU-C library. Since we do not have the kdesrc-build build framework, I'm running the kdesrc-build commands on a Linux operating system on Ubuntu 24.04. I'm looking at the verbose output, and then I'm trying to replicate in this operating system whatever I'm seeing there. So first of all, kdesrc-build, when I try to build any KDE Git repository, it tries to build the KDE Git repository extra CMake modules. So let's go there. Okay. The build will take place in the tilde/kd/build directory. The installation will be performed in the tilde/kd/usr directory, and git clone will be performed in the directory tilde/kd/src directory. So let's create all of these directories. Make dir -p tilde/kd/src build and usr. Let's git clone into the tilde/kd/src directory. So git clone, and we need the HTTPS URL. Paste. Copy paste works from the web browser Mozilla Firefox, a pretty recent version of the web browser, to the Mate terminal. Okay, we managed to git clone. In this directory, we have extra CMake modules, just one subdirectory. Let's make sure that we have enough command line tools. We need Midnight Commander. It's in here. F10 does not close Midnight Commander. So let's find another way to close it. How do we close? File and then exit. Okay, we also need a text editor. We have nano, Emacs, no X. Okay, we have already installed the binary packages for the C and C++ compilers, CMake, Ninja, Meson. Let's continue. So it says that it's changing into the directory, into the build directory. So we'll need to create this directory first. Make dir -p kd build and extra CMake modules. And we want to change in there. cd, middle click paste works. And then it's setting some environment variables. Let's have a graphical user interface text editor. Where is it? Applications, so the main menu of the Mate desktop, applications, accessories, Pluma. Paste. Okay. So we want to replace all of these with export. And let's see what it does. So it sets the LD library path to tilde. Can we put tilde in here? Let's actually put the correct full path to the home directory. So pwd, this is the full path to the home directory. Okay, and we replace this part, Control H, Control V / replace all. Okay, what do we actually really need in order to build extra CMake modules? I'm not sure we need any of these command line or any of these environment variables. Okay, do we have tabs in here? Yes. We're going to convert this command line in a valid command line. We need to replace all of these. So single quote space single quote with a single quote. Remove the enveloping single quotes. And I'm not sure if we want to use Kate Ninja. Let's try to use Unix makefiles. So cmake Unix makefiles. Let's look at the syntax. So Unix makefiles all uppercase with no minuses. Okay, we could use backspace to escape the space between Unix and makefiles. And we also need to replace the path to the home directory, which is at least in here. Place all. Okay, so the full path to the source directory is tilde/kd/src/extra CMake modules. The install directory for make install is tilde/kd/usr. This all looks correct. Let's see. What does it say? Ignoring extra path from command line. Why? I put extra spaces when I did the replace. Okay, let's clean up. rm-rf extra CMake modules. Make dir okay, and run again. Okay, let's see what it says. It says that the optional package Qt6 was not found. That's a problem because extra CMake modules totally should detect Qt6, it says in here. So it's missing the Qt dir. What is this? So I'm on the wiki page, which contains the procedure on how to start programming for KDE, which is largely centered around kdesrc-build. And in here, the last blue button with the URL more, I've opened this one. And in here, I can see the instructions of another operating system that's not better supported by kdesrc-build, which is OpenBSD. Let's make sure that we have installed the needed binary packages for Qt6. That will be package search Qt. Let's see. Package search -p. Okay, so there's a Qt creator, PyQt5, Qt5, and Qt6. Let's search just by inside of the package name. So we need to install this one, Qt6. Package install Qt6. Okay, so it's going to install 5 packages, but then the Qt6 package is going to be a large one because it also contains Qt base, Qt web engine, 20 Qt6 modules. So it has installed clang 17, Qt6, and some X11 libraries. The installation has finished. And now the question is, where was Qt6 installed? Where are the CMake, where is the CMake directory that's inside of the Qt6 installation? Let's try to find it by searching inside /usr. Okay, so cd. Let's see if it's not inside of the /op directory. If I keep the key down arrow pressed, it seems that the keyboard repeat rate is configured in X11, and it has a configuration window in the settings from Mate Desktop. So from the main menu of the Mate Desktop, System, Preferences, Hardware, and Keyboard. Let's see what's the problem with the keyboard repeat rate. So if I press the A key and keep it pressed, and now it started working. I just played around with this setting. I moved it to 0 and then a bit and then back to where it was previously. Maybe this has unblocked it. I just tweaked a bit the setting and then reverted back to where it was. And now everything works correctly. A and backspace. Great, an improvement. Let's hope it also works inside of the Mate terminal. Okay, so we're searching for the /op directory, which is a directory that used to have a ton of contents in the Solaris world, and now it's mostly empty. Okay, the next place where we're going to search for Qt6 is /usr, and in here I'm going to guess there's a lib directory, and in here I don't know where it is. So we can search in here, page up, using the Midnight Commander main menu, command, find file, and we want to search for what? For Qt6 maybe. anything, Qt6, anything, and case insensitive. Clicking with the mouse works. So the directory seems to be /usr/lib /qt and then the version with 2 integers, so 6.6, not just 6. Okay, and we're searching for the cmake directory in here. Many files with the extension cmake. So this is it. /usr/lib/qt/6.6/lib /amd64/cmake. So I might need the entire directory until the cmake directory. So let's note this down. /usr/ let's have a new terminal in here. Lib /qt/6.6/lib /amd64/cmake. Let's go to this directory and up one directory and Control O, and this is the path. Right click, copy, and Control V, paste. Okay. Control O again, F10, does not work. File, exit. And we need to be back into the build directory of extra cmake modules. And let's see where we were previously. So we need to look at the list of environment variables. In here should be a cmake prefix path, this guy. So this should probably be like this. And all of these twos need to be replaced with equals. Control H, and then in here an equals. Paste. Okay. Let's see if the environment variable has been set correctly. Echo $, middle click paste. And it was. Back to the line that we were trying to run, which is this one. How do we zoom in? Control plus, Control Z. I don't know. Paste. Let's look at what it did. Says could not find things. This is for documentation. It's okay if it's missing. Q collection generator. I don't know. Could find pthread, std atomic, threads, atomic, OpenGL, the X libraries. This is a, I don't know, a linter tool. Okay. No tests because there's no PyQt. Okay. The following optional have been found, so we could find Qt6, Qt6 Core, Qt6 Core Tools, Qt6 Linguist, OpenGL, XKB More, Qt6, Python 3, and it will not build Qt style docs, HTML docs, man pages, which is okay. So it looks really, really okay. The CMake configure step is done. Next up, we want to run the compiling step, which is building software from source code if needed, or generating source code. Okay, the command line is not Ninja, but it's make -J and 14. Doesn't seem to be anything to do. And the next command line is make install. So this module, KDE module, extra CMake modules, seems to contain files that most of them just need to be copied into tilde/kd/usr. So many files with the extension CMake, some with the extension json.in, commit hooks for the KDE community. Looks okay. Next up, the next Git repository from the KDE community that we need to build is kconfig. We need to go to tilde/kd/src because that's where we are git cloning things. Kconfig. Code, clone with HTTPS. Ctrl-Shift-V works to paste inside of the terminal. So now in here should be two directories, extra CMake modules and kconfig. We need to create the kconfig directory also in the tilde/kd/build directory. Kconfig. And then change into this directory. Okay, back to the instructions. The next step is to run CMake configure, which requires some environment variables to be set, and then there's this command line for running CMake. We have already set CMake prefix path. We probably also want to edit path. And that should be it. So this thing. So this should be equals, in here should be export. And the home directory is like this. and then there should be the rest of the path environment variable. Okay, so let's look at the current value of the environment variable path. It's the OpenIndiana default one with just ~.local/bin added. Okay, so now the environment variable path starts with ~.kd/usr/bin, because in here various executable files from the KDE community, and not only that, we are building using, like we're building right now, are going to end, and maybe after they are installed in ~.kd/usr/bin using make install, other modules will actually need these executables. Okay, so we did this one and this one. Remaining are these. The LD library path is not really needed. So we see when further down the line we'll set these environment variables. Okay, so now we need the cmake command line, this thing, and we need to replace extra cmake modules with kconfig. We do that, find and replace once, and that's it. Okay, so let's see what the cmake configure step did. Found C, C++ compilers as GCC, so it's going to use GCC and probably the newest version that's installed on this machine, which is GNU 13.3. Could find atomic, knows where to install in ~.kd/usr. Could find the GNU-C library. And then it failed with the following error. So the module that failed to build is named kconfig. The module that determined that kconfig could not build is the previous one, which is ECM extra cmake modules. This has a validation where it looks at the operating system, and if the operating system is Linux, FreeBSD, Windows, macOS, or Android, then kconfig will compile. For all of the other possible operating systems and operating system kernels, kconfig will not build out of the box because it requires this additional parameter. So we need to tell cmake that the check from the KDE frameworks to ignore platform should be ignored. The check should be ignored. Okay, so this command line parameter goes where? In here. Let's run the command line again. Okay, and let's see what it says. So it skipped the check for these 5 operating systems. The same workaround needs to be done for all of the other operating systems. So NetBSD, OpenBSD, all of the operating systems in the family, Solaris, Open Solaris, OpenIndiana, IllumOS, OmniOS, and then the FreeBOS operating system, alternative, and other operating systems. Okay. Could not find upstream. Probably is not available as a package for Solaris, so for OpenIndiana. Package search stream -p. So the package should be upstream, not available. Upstream CLI. Let's paste. So this executable is missing. Paste. Okay, could not find it. And it's not really mandatory because this is just a test that needs upstream, not compiling or installing the KDE module kconfig. Kconfig is a KDE framework version 6. Okay, could find X, OpenGL. Deprecated, attribute visibility hidden. Okay, could find Qt and ECM, and will not build Qt style documentation files QCH, which is not a problem. I don't actually use that. It has written many files inside of the current directory. All of these files. And it says in here, build files have been written to the current directory. So tilde/kd/build/kconfig. Okay, let's see what's the next step. After CMake configure, the next step is to build. So make -j14. I have 14 vCPUs. I want to make to tell GCC to use as many CPU threads as possible. Besides building C++ translation units using G++, it also does work related to the KDE translations in various languages. This would be Uzbekistan Cyrillic and this Uzbekistan Latin. It runs the 3 Qt code generators, UIC, RCC, and MOC. And then it fails at 17% progress. So make is both compiling source code into .o files, and then it's taking those O files and so it has created many .o files, and now it's trying to create a .so file, which is a shared library, which is similar to a dynamic link library in Windows. And for this, it's using the linker. So all of the steps that needed the compiler were successful. The steps that require the linker fail. And they all fail because it says that the linker that's being used right now, which we do not know exactly which one is, could be the linker from GCC, could be the linker from CLang LLVM, could be a Solaris linker, could be an old GNU linker. Who knows what's in here? Says that the linker has been passed the command line parameter --enable -new -d tags, and this command line parameter is not recognized by this linker LD. So the linker error that occurs when we try to build from source the KDE git repository kconfig is because this linker command line parameter is not recognized by the default linker in OpenIndiana, which is the linker from the Solaris lineage. So there are 3 linkers provided, or 2. There's /usr/bin/ld, /usr/gnu/bin/ld, and then there are various symlinks such as /usr/bin/gld, which points to the second one. They're different in size. They have different manuals. This is the linker for LD from IllumOS, from the Solaris like operating systems. Does not have the parameter with the new D tags. Whereas the GNU LD says in here that it's the GNU linker, says in here that it's the GNU development tools, and at the end of the manual page it says bin utils for GNU bin utils, not IllumOS. And in here, if we search for the tags, it does know about this parameter. I could not find any way of convincing the GCC that I'm using, which is the default compiler in OpenIndiana, which is GCC 13, to use GNU linker, not the IllumOS linker. I tried all sorts of things. I tried changing the path environment variable to put /usr/gnu/bin instead of in front of /usr/bin. I have tried using real -ld symlink. I tried to make /usr/bin/ld a symlink towards /usr/gnu/bin/ld. Passing various GCC command line parameters using cmake variables, nothing actually worked. The deepest that I got was to run cmake, to run the make step verbosely, which returned the full command line that's being ran, which is, where is it? So it first changes directory to ~/kdbuild kconfigs src core. Then it runs this command line, and then it links. So it uses /usr/gcc 13 bin g++, and then a very long command line with many parameters are being passed to the linker. All of these parameters with -WL. And then many object files. And at the end, somewhere is the SO file to be generated. This thing. This thing, -O. Okay. Equivalent of strace in the Solaris family of operating systems is called truss, T-R-U-S-S. I got to this command line, which is truss, then -F, which means follow all of the sub-processes started by G++, and then the full command line of G++. The standard error is populated by output from truss. So I've redirected both standard error and standard input to a plain text file. And then we can, for instance, open that file in a text editor. We know how to open files. The output is pretty short, so you can see which executable is being used as the linker, which liblDSO, so which shared libraries are being loaded, how is the linker configured in OpenIndiana. It's certainly not using the GNU version of the linker or the linker's SO files. There's no mention of GCC or G++ in the full path to files. So this is it. Maybe next time when we'll find out how to edit the linker command line parameters that are passed via, which are generated by the KDE Git repository extra CMake modules. Either we provide a merge request for ECM such that at least it does not pass this parameter to OpenIndiana, or we'll patch locally ECM, or we'll find out how to, if the /usr/gnu/bin ldd ld executable can actually be used for linking. I could not prove that that executable is actually can be used by GCC to build even the simplest command line application. So this is it. This is how far I got trying to build KDE software from source on the operating system OpenIndiana. I managed to build extra CMake modules, which doesn't really need to be built. Then I try to build the next module, which is the KDE framework version 6 kconfig. I managed to build .o files, so to build C++ translation units, but then I couldn't link those because extra CMake modules adds an extra command line parameter to the linker, which the build the default linker in OpenIndiana, which is not the GNU linker, which is a Solaris style linker, does not recognize. Thank you.